All right, so hello everyone and welcome to another AMA. This one is with Speakeasy. So I can assure you, like myself personally, I can assure you that a lot of great things will be heard today. And Barrett, you will also, I guess, will be asked some good questions from my end because you are on the hot seat today. So get ready for that. So yeah, with that being said, buckle up your seats, everyone, and get ready for a fun time. Barrett, it's a pleasure having you here. So for starters, you can give some background information about the team behind the project, and then we'll, of course, jump into all of the utilities and things you have planned and ready to go. So with that being said, welcome, and the floor is all yours.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me, and I'm glad that we're launching on Gempad. Just tired of, pink sale dumping on people and everything like that. So, so Speakeasy has been going on for, in development for quite a while now. Got a really great couple of developers. I've assisted with things, and I'm the deployer, so I'm dealing with the private keys and everything. But our two developers are extremely experienced and, have made lots of pretty interesting contracts. So, they'll be talking about just how cool our actual contract is. But the best part about it is that we're launching with Web3 sports betting at launch, and we're launching on Sunday. So we're going to have all the different NFL football games on Sunday to bet on, and some other fun bets as well. And then obviously we're, gearing up for World Cup and betting on that too.
That's perfect. That's amazing. Okay, so a very nice start of the AMA. So if
you're cutting out.
Everything up. I'm sorry, I was lagging for a bit. Okay. I know I'm kind of lagging a bit. Is it fine now? I have some issue. Okay. Thank God, because my screen is kind of doing some black thingy, like it's just cutting off, so I have no idea. Okay, I think it should be fine anyway. So yeah, okay, thank you for bearing with me. If it's okay with you, we can jump right into all of the utilities. So everything regarding the wheel spin and everything you have ready to go. And of course, the best thing that I personally am looking forward to is the flash staking. But of course, I'll let you give some more information regarding that yourself. So yeah.
Yeah, right on. So what do you want to hear about first?
Well, I guess if you have like a certain way that you usually present all of the utilities, you can for sure do so yourself. So you can just kind of, guide the community for all of them, and then I'll ask you some of the questions and whatnot.
Okay. Well, so the main utility that, like I said, is launching on Sunday with the token is our sports betting dApp. And essentially what you need to do is you buy Speakeasy tokens, and then you can bet with Speakeasy tokens. And there's zero house, so we're not taking a cut. So we're not incentivized if you win or lose your bet. We're not trying to, there's other gambling, websites and tokens and stuff that are more about, betting against them, and, that you pay a big fee to bet and a bunch of crazy things like that. And ours is completely peer-to-peer. And that makes it legal for us to do in the United States and wherever people want to play. So you're not going to need a VPN to connect. You're basically just, like you're playing at your friend's house, like betting on a different sports game. So I could show you a little bit of the dApp here. Let me mute it. Let me click away from that. So a team of our admins, a couple trusted admins, are able to help me create games and create bets on the fly. So we just go to the website. This all interacts directly with the contract since it is completely decentralized. They'll come on here. We create a game to bet on, and then it will show up, and you can come and click bet now. And it's going to show you the minimum bet amount in the Speakeasy token. And the minimum bet amount is going to be set off of 0.05 BNB at the time we create the game. So however much 0.05 BNB worth of Speakeasy is will be the minimum bet amount. And you can bet as many bets as you want. So you could bet 10 times the minimum amount, or 100 times, or you could just bet one time the minimum amount. And you'll pick, obviously, which team you're betting on or which side, because we could be also betting on things that aren't sports, right? Like we could bet on, is the weather is it going to be over this temperature or not? And
yeah, so, I'm sorry for kind of interrupting you there. That's one of the questions that I guess, eager to know more, because I myself, and I will be just straightforward here, I am not essentially the biggest sports fan there is. So I was kind of wondering if you have any limits regarding the, I guess, field area that you can bet on certain things, because I would assume that you can do like anything here. I was imagining, like, for example, that it'd be a fine way of doing it. For example, that a hyped coin launches and you're betting on how many X's it does, for example. So I imagine there's no limits to that, is it?
Yeah. So what we can do is we can set up percentage-based bets. So we could bet on, for example, a coin flip. So 50. Because if you're betting on the team that's most likely going to win, if you're betting on, let's say, this coin flip is going to happen, like if it was a 3-sided dice or something, and you were betting on 2 of the sides, you would actually bet more money because you're more likely to win. So you have less that you can win. Your opponent would bet less. And so it all works out. If it happened over and over and you guys broke even, everyone would tie. So we have a percentage-based system, so we can say, if there's 75% chance this token is going to do well, then people could bet on that side, or they could take the underdog side and bet less money, but they could win more if the token doesn't do well. So we can set it up pretty much for anything. And you'll see here for the sports side of it, it uses spreads, which are basically saying, this team has to win by this many points, because if one team is better than another, for example, in this situation, the New York Mets are better than the Padres. So the Mets have to win by 1.5 points. So basically 1.5 points goes to the Padres total score. And then, so if the Mets if they only win by 1, whoever bet on the Padres still wins the bets. So that's our spread-based system. But like I said, we also have the percentage-based system, which allows us to bet on anything that doesn't use a spread, just any, arbitrary percentages. And that also includes like UFC fights, or we could, do presidential elections, so if the polls say that, Biden's going to win, has a 75% chance of winning, then we can set that bet up in a way that would be fair. Because, it wouldn't be fun if you knew that one person's more likely going to win, then you wouldn't really be able to bet. You wouldn't want to bet on the underdog, but this really incentivizes you to bet on the underdog.
Yeah, for sure. That kind of sounds like a plan. So I was also, I guess, wondering regarding the the bet itself. So only you guys can set that up, right? So, for example, if even there was a certain case that your holder, let's say, for example, we're going to take your holder, wants to create a bet because he just finds, I don't know, a certain topic interesting, he can do so. Only you guys can create the event, and, of course, the community can then vote on it or bet on it, I'm going to say.
Yeah, so what exactly, so he'll just tell us, hey, a bunch of the people in the community are like, hey, we really want to bet on this. I was like, we basically fill out this quick thing. We confirm it onto, MetaMask, and it sends the transaction through, and then the bet will populate. We put in the categories right now. It's not categorized on the site. So there is like a lot of polish and stuff that we're going to keep developing and adding onto. But it's community driven as far as what the bets are going to be. But we need to put it in, because what happens is we pay the gas to create the game. And then also when the game or event is over, then we need to enter the final score or the outcome. And so if a user was in control of that, they wouldn't necessarily be trusted to enter the correct outcome. And we also couldn't have users creating like hundreds of things a day, and then we would have to go through and manually review them and see what the outcome was. So really just to protect the bettors, and holders, we add that for them and take over that responsibility.
Okay, yeah, for sure. That actually, yeah, go on ahead. Sorry.
No, yeah. I was going to say, we built that really cool system where we can do it from the website, because otherwise to create a game, you'd have to come over to Remix, and you'd have to go into the you'd have to create games directly on the contract. But so that's what's cool, that the website allows us to do that. It's kind of like, Gempad, when I create my listing for the pre-sale, it actually all just, it's actually interacting with the blockchain, and then, submitting, using gas to update the stuff. I mean, it works pretty much the same way. But yeah, we just don't want to let, anybody, do that, because it just wouldn't be trusted.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. But I do kind of enjoy the, I'm going to say, the concept behind this, because it's generally speaking, I think it's a fun way of the community to engage in, just your everyday things, for example. So just like you mentioned at the start, like how the weather is going to be, and, things like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be I'm going to say, a complex bet. It can be whatever. And so the community, I think, can just get into it, and it's going to be, a fun way of betting and just having a straight up good time. So it should be awesome.
Yeah, so on Sunday we're going to do the football games, right? But we're also going to do like the 7 o'clock at night football game. We're going to go like, which team is going to win the coin toss, and we all know that's a 50-50, right? And so then we'll be able to confirm via live TV which team won the coin toss, and then we go and enter which team won the coin toss. So that'll be just a complete DGen 50-50 bet, for having some fun,
Yeah, that's awesome, actually. Yeah. Go ahead.
And so people will basically have the minimum amount of tokens to bet with. These numbers are much higher because we had a higher supply on the test net, and I decided to lower it so we could work with smaller numbers. So most likely minimum bet will be like 5,000 Speakeasy. But obviously it changes with the B&B value when we make the games. So let's say I bet 10 times the current bet, and you only bet 1 times the current bet. Your one bet will match up with one of mine, and I'll still have 9 outstanding bets. So of my 9 outstanding bets, that's now waiting for other people to come in and bet. So people will be able to see that through the confirmed and unconfirmed bets under each team. And so, if everybody's betting on one team and no one's betting on the other team, those people are all going to get, be able to withdraw their funds. Because if you bet anything that isn't matched up, then you're able to just withdraw at any time. You can withdraw before the game starts, during the game, or after. And if you win, you can just withdraw your winnings plus your unconfirmed bets at the same time. And so this just keeps it completely peer-to-peer. So, like, if you wanted to go in and put $5,000, you're not like, oh, my God, there's only $100 on the other team. I'm screwed. No, it would just match your $100 to their $100, and you would get your $4,900 back.
That's perfect, yeah. So
that keeps it peer-to-peer. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's perfect.
So the contract, just functions as like an escrow service. Like, we're just the middleman, and the only one who makes any money off that aspect is just, Binance, because of the gas fees. And so everything is just, go confirm it on the blockchain. And then now you can see on this team, there's 0.06 B&B bet, but there's not on the other team. And, essentially, you run it down to there's just money on both sides. So 0.07 on this side and 0.06 on this side. And this one has 1 extra bet. So if I was going to put a bet in on the Padres, it would instantly confirm with this 1 extra bet on the Mets. So pretty straightforward. And, it tells you what your balance of Speakeasy is and how much you've bet and everything. And then basically, as the admin here, we can, end the game or hide the game or extend the time. And so that's like where we would enter the scores. Admins can just do that. It's pretty much going to be just 3 of us. And then in the end, you'll see like the final score, and you'll be able to come down here and withdraw your winning amount, and you just confirm that transaction. And then the Speakeasy tokens just are in your wallet. And then it'll say you've already withdrawn. And so then there's this, if you didn't win, but you had that extra bets in there that nobody matched with, even if you don't win, you can still withdraw your unconfirmed amount. So everybody can get back their tokens, and they'll do a little transaction, and pretty straightforward on that. But it's going to be pretty exciting, especially that, you have tokens like World Cup Inu that, broke, I don't know what their all-time high was, maybe like 45 million,
Yeah.
And all about, their whole plans are they have a sports betting DApp coming out, and the interface looks a lot similar to ours. So I'm wondering where they got that idea. But I mean, it's cool that, we'll be launching with the DApp live on Sunday. So we're going to be first to market with this. And theirs uses Ethereum and has taxes on top of that. So ours, they take money out of that pot that pumps into the token, but ours uses our token, but doesn't cost any fees. So, if you're in the ecosystem, you're betting and you're experiencing zero fee betting. And maybe by the time you've won your bet, the token's already increased, and constantly we're going to be getting more and more people coming in to bet. And we're going to be shilling different games. Like, instead of just shilling a token just to pump and dump, you're like, hey, come bet on this game. We're going to do targeted advertising to the different, you could target people on Facebook, but like crypto and like sports betting. Wow, they would be a good fit. Like we just have a lot of real world marketing that we can do that just gives us a lot more opportunity than a standard meme coin.
Yeah, 100%. I do think that you have I'm going to say an amazing ground that you can cover here. So a huge area of field, if you will.
Yeah. So that's all pretty exciting. And that's like the main thing that, you're going to have constant like activity in the chat of like things constantly to do, not just waiting for the next, I don't know. We're going to be doing lots of marketing, obviously, but I mean, you just have I just can't wait, and that's why it took so long to develop and to test and to get everything working perfectly. If we just launched with just the sports betting app, that would be cool. But I think you also want a really cool token behind it. That's kind of fun. And so that's why we have our spin jackpots, which is our other DApp that automatically, when you buy into the token, every 0.01 BNB that you buy enters you into the weekly and the weekly and daily jackpots. And so how that kind of looks is like this. So somebody.
Wait, I'm sorry, just a quick second. My screen, my screen just froze, so I will need to just quickly restart my PC. I'm sorry to to keep you waiting. Right. Just give me 1 minute, and I shall be back. We have an admin in the AMA as well, so it will not just cut off. So just a quick second. I will be right there.
Yeah, just hype people up a little bit here. So. Yeah, sports betting. It's gonna be pretty exciting. I can think about just now. People are going to get a bunch of tokens for pre-sale. Most people are going to buy tokens on the pre-sale so that they're getting their tokens with zero tax. Even though our buy tax is only 3%, I'm sure I'm going to be going over that more when he gets back. But now you let's say you've lost the bet. Now you're going to want to go buy more. So we're going to have buy pressure of people buying tokens just so they can bet with them. So just having, this real utility that uses only the Speakeasy token, we're not, it would be pointless to do it in BNB or this or that, because we're not making money off of the actual gambling, because in all reality, that would be illegal. We would be bookies. But since we're just allowing people to play on a peer-to-peer decentralized betting DApp, versus each other. All right,
sorry for interrupting. Yeah. I am now here. Everything is clear. Yeah, thank you very much for kind of holding it with me. So yeah, thank you. You can continue now. My bad.
Yeah, so I was just re-elaborating how cool the betting is going to be. But okay, so now we're into just the fun aspect of the token, right? So every 0.01 BNB that you buy is going to show up on our spin DApp, and spin is our jackpot game. So what happens is, let's say you make a transaction, and right now there's 10 bets that are here. For example, the person that has all this orange, they bought 0.2 BNB, so they actually get 20 credits. But for example, this guy down here in this blue, he only bought 0.1. B&B. So he has 1 credit. And everybody gets their own color. And sometimes there's duplicates of the colors in the algorithm for the fade. But it looks really amazing when there's going to be like 300, 400, 500 people, that bought that day. Or, the weekly games should have just an insane amount of slices. But keep in mind, if you sell 1 token, you lose your spot in the jackpot and you lose your credits. But if you bet on the sports and you lose your money, or if you win money, you don't lose any of your credits. So just keep that in mind. If you transfer your tokens anywhere other than the betting DApp, you lose your credits in the jackpot. So let's see what it looks like. Okay, basically, someone buys 0.01 BNB. Okay, now they show up on the wheel. Now there's 11 bets, right? And then essentially, I go through like showing somebody selling. You could add more. If you've already bought, you can keep buying more and add more chances, because you'll be able to see the pot total in Speakeasy and the B&B value of it as that's going up. Maybe you want to come in and buy a little bit more Speakeasy just because the pot is so juicy. Especially when people sell, a big percent of the sell tax goes to the jackpot. The 3% buy tax all goes to the jackpot as well. So what it does is just creates a really fun system. So let's say, even though you lost all your money betting, you could still actually have a comeback because you could still win the jackpot. And so, like I said, jackpot, you're entered into the daily, which is the mega spin, and the super spin, which is weekly. So I'll just show you what it looks like when the wheel spins here. So basically, once the timer comes down, it'll say preparing spin for a little bit, and then it'll spin, which is always exciting. And it spins. And then essentially we can click and see who won. And they basically can just go right to their wallet and see that they got the money. So we can come down and swirl your mouse around like that and basically click into the transaction. And if you find the right, and this is into the wallet. You'll see that they get the Speakeasy tokens directly to it. There's no fee or anything taken from that. All the gas is just paid for us through the marketing wallet to run this. And then a new game starts, and then the timer would be set for another 7 days, and then the super spin will build up. The mega spin has some caveats that our mascot Spinny, who's our little friend. Let's see if I can't find a good picture of Spinny. Yeah, he's right here. Like in
that sounds awesome. This is Spinny. Okay.
Yeah, so Spinny can win, and he wins. The first day he has a 95% chance of winning. The next day he has a 90% chance, all the way down to 0. So anyone could still win on the first day, but his percentage of winning keeps going down, and that makes the jackpot just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So the idea is that you still could win when he has a high percentage of winning, but you're less likely to. But the money just carries over to the next pot. And with other jackpot tokens, all of the taxes go directly to the jackpot, and it doesn't look at how much money each individual user bought. It's just like, hey, whatever one of the wallets that holds this much money is going to win. So it's like people are incentivized to have tons of little wallets. And to me, that's super annoying. I wouldn't want to manage or deal with that. And they have the same chances of winning every week or month, right? Because of how many, because it doesn't care if they bought recently. And so that kind of takes away all the aspect and the buy pressure of having this. Like, this is there. So if a bunch of people sell, the jackpot is big, and then now you're going to buy, not only because then you can go bet with that money or you can hold the tokens, you actually have, a really higher chance of winning the jackpot, because anyone who sold doesn't have credits, but their money went into the jackpot. And we call it a perpetual jackpot because we actually take the money from the jackpot, the money that goes to the jackpot, 33% of the tax for it goes into the current jackpot, and the rest goes into the reserve. And so when a new game starts, 50% of the reserve goes into the new game. So each jackpot always starts with funds in it. And so instead of it, all the launch volume, and you have a really high jackpots that just keep getting smaller and smaller, you'll actually have the impression that they're getting bigger and bigger. And especially as we're getting more and more betting volume. So it's a very sustainable way to run the jackpot side of it. But there's nothing people need to do. You can watch the spin, and we'll have everyone will be all happy on voice chat, and we'll be streaming it, and people can just go to the webpage spinbsc.app. If they connect their wallet, then they can see how many credits they have. So this will be all reset and ready to go for launch. But this is kind of what it'll look like. I'm just showing that it's all up here. And so they can just see how many credits they have and see what their percentage chance of winning, and see what their color looks like on the wheel. And then otherwise they could go to the betting DApp, which doesn't have any games on it yet, because once the token has to be launched for us to be able to create them, because it looks at the price of the token. So
I like how, sorry for interrupting you there. I just like the fact how everything is just so straightforward. Like, usually, in my experience anyway, when you had some, I'm going to say, jackpot or casino games or whatever you might call it, where they had the same spins, let's say, for example, you just had to, buy all of the spins. You can do it with, I don't know, BNB. You had to buy them with, the tokens. But here you just automatically get them. As long as you buy your token, you just get the spin. And I like how straightforward it is, and I think that a lot of people were going to find it appealing just to, hold the tokens and not them to be eligible for the spins for one. So that's perfect,
And then the thing is, if they sell right after the jackpot, they've sold, so they're not eligible for that week or that day. So you really, it's more incentivized people that maybe want to buy a little bit every week. Or as soon as Spinny's percentage goes way down, then they're going to want to buy to win that mega spin, because it'll have grown by so much that, it's just people are going to be like trying to just buy a little bit like every day just to get their entries into it, and people, obviously winners are going to find ways to win, and they're going to see, analyze the amount of BNB in the pot and the amount of other entries and what their percentages would be. And, it'll be fun, for them to look at all that and, place their buys accordingly,
Yeah, for sure. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I just, sorry again for interrupting. I just like the fact how it offers so much information. Like you can see the odds, like you already showed us the color for the, the mega and super spins. You can take a look at everything. Like you don't need to be in the dark regarding that. And it's amazing. All of the utilities that are also that offer tons of information, and you can I guess you can take a look at all the information and you can decide yourself how much you're gonna buy, if it's worth buying, and it's just an amazing way of showing it, in my experience and opinion anyway. So perfect.
Yeah, and so after the daily, then you don't have any credits for the daily. So if you wanted to buy more, you'd buy more for the next daily, but it would still keep building up in the weekly. And so once the weekly ends, that game is over. All credits are reset every night when each game ends. So just constantly giving people a reason to buy, and just fresh jackpots, but completely built in. You never even have to look. You could just check your wallet once in a while to see if you won. So then we're going to have the countdowns for them here. We are coming out with, it won't be a BNB fun spin. It's going to be based on Speakeasy. So essentially it'll be just a jackpot that we already had it working with BNB, but we don't want to be seen as a casino. So we would have to take a percentage of the BNB to run the gas. So we're not doing that.
Oh, so that was regarding the BNB minigame jackpot. I also read something about that.
Yeah, so that'll be in Speakeasy, and that's just really fun, because I let's say I put in 5,000 Speakeasy, and you put in 10,000 Speakeasy. You have 2 times the chance of winning as I do, and so like in the last minute, maybe I'm going to put more in, because usually whoever has the most in it wins. So then it becomes kind of a game of chicken. Like, how much more am I going to put in to win the pot? And let's say even if I have a 99% chance of winning, I could still lose, and it's like a major upset, right? But it's super degen.
Yeah, for sure. Like if you put, yeah, exactly. If you put in like a huge amount of money at the last second, it's just, but yeah, but it makes it. I guess you can say it makes it super competitive. Like, no, I'm gonna put more. No, I'm gonna put more, and it's. I imagine that in this game modes, you're not gonna have any limits regarding to how much let's say a whale can spend. You can just put in, I guess, any amount that you're willing to risk. Or
yeah, as much easy as you want. And then the fun thing is that other people, you'll be just playing like, hey, you'll be like with your friends and be like, all right, we're each gonna put in, 0.1 BNB worth, like 3 of you, and then at the last minute, some guy comes in and puts in like 2 BNB, and most likely he's going to win, but then his luck will eventually run out, and then he'll lose 2 BNB, and one of you, will come out with 2 plus BNB and profit. But it's just fun. So that'll be there.
Yeah, degen but fun. Yeah. So that's perfect. Yeah, I like how you also offer that opportunity because in this space you have a lot of degens and they will feel at home. So it's perfect. You offer so many functions and utilities to keep. I guess all types of investors happy at the end of the day. So everyone will feel welcomed, and it's going to be a blast for sure.
Yeah, here's a closer look at Spinny. Yeah, so that's just part of the fun, having that. All just focused around the bets, though. The bets is going to be the main driver of the token. We also have a really cool tokenomics. Which I guess is pretty important. Okay, let's see here. So when you buy, it's only 3%, and when you sell, it's 13%. So it works out to be an 8% in and out token. But if you sell, so you can sell up to 1 BNB a day at 13%. So on my first transaction within 24 hours, if I sell 1.1 BNB, it's not going to work. If I sell 1.01, it's not going to work. If I sell 1 BNB, it will work at 13%. And then it will record that I've made that sell in 24 hours. And then the next time I go to sell, it's going to make me sell at 23%. So if you sell 0.01 BNB, then that was your daily limit. You get your first sell at 13%, and then anything else I would sell would be at the 23%. So the idea is that people are only selling 1 BNB a day. Let's say you're in some good profits, and if everyone is just selling a BNB a day, then we call that scaling. So you're really incentivized to scale off. So then let's say someone wins a ton of money on a big bet, hypothetically, or a big jackpot. If they want to dump it, then that's great. We're going to take a bunch of their money for marketing and for the jackpots. But, if they want to be cool about things, then it's going to be, they're going to save 10% and they won't hurt the chart. So we're really hoping to see that really stabilize the chart. And, down the line, I could see us like lowering some of the sale tax, but our buy tax will always just be 3%. So it's easy to get in. And then, when you're up, you could scale out, but then this way we won't see like crazy volatility in the chart. And to make this work in the contract was pretty amazing. So we've never seen a contract be able to do this. So that took a lot of work and whatnot to do.
Yeah, I would imagine, but it's a phenomenal idea. So
yeah. So yeah, we call it the anti-dump tokenomics. So to explain a little bit about the flash staking.
Yes, this is what I have been waiting for. Yes, I will explain you in just a second why I'm hyped for this. But yeah, for sure, quickly just I guess run the community over what flash staking is. Then I'm explain why I'm so hyped.
Yeah. So to be honest, I thought that I had this updated. It won't be 690 million tokens. It will be 690. Well, I need to think for a second. Yeah. It will be maximum. Oh, okay. So I think it'll be at 6. Well, anyway, 10% of the supply is set up for flash staking, and we're breaking that up over 8 weeks. And to get into the flash staking, the HedgePay has set us up like with an amazing custom staking portal, and it's a game. So essentially, there'd be a maximum size in the pool of I think it would be 690 or 69,000 tokens. I've just got to do some quick math because we reduced our supply by so much. So 69,000 tokens will be able to be staked, and as soon as that pool is filled, then it'll be over. So, and it only lasts for 1 week. So you're able to stake a portion of your tokens for a whole week at 1,000% APR, but there'll be pretty much a race to get in. So I think it'll be, if everybody puts in the full amount, only 69 people will be able to get in. So the timer is going to count down, and it's going to be, click, 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 confirm transaction, and to see who can get in. And then they'll get rewarded basically with the 1,000% APR, fixed APR for that week.
And this is exactly what. Yeah, go ahead. yeah, just like you said. And this is exactly why I'm hyped up, because I do treat it like a game. So to clarify this, I know that I said that I'm not I'm going to say a huge sports fan, but on the other hand, esports I can get behind because I am a huge gamer, So I treat life in general very competitively. So it's like I see this just as another opportunity of me to like show my competitive spirit. So, I'm going to click, I'm going to be the first one to get into the staking, and I treat it like a game. So I am so much looking forward to it, because I did not even think for a second that you can, pair staking with some sort of competitive vibe to it. And I find this so refreshing. It's like you wanting to get into a hyped pre-sale when you know that you have very few spots, and like people waiting and have whitelist spots are like, I don't know, 2,000 for 200 contributors, for example. And then you are so nervous, but it's the adrenaline, it's the thrill of it. You're just going to click and you're going to wait, and hopefully the transaction is going to go through. So it just gives me the kind of, the adrenaline, the rush. So I am so much looking forward to this.
Yeah. Because exactly, it was like, well, we don't really have any place for staking. Staking's not sustainable unless a percentage of your tax goes to it, and then you're a farming token. But we're like, hey, we can give up 10% of the supply. We'll make it last for 8 different staking sessions for 8 weeks. And then that 10% will be gone. There's no way to replenish that. Because every staking token, like they die within a couple months because they run out of tokens, kind of the scheme ends. So acknowledging that and saying, hey, it would still be fun, because of a really cool partnership we have with HedgePay, and, they've got some real serious, developers over there. So created the whole thing, and it is pretty beautiful. I wish I had the screenshots and stuff of it, but yeah, people will be seeing that shortly after launch. And yeah, it's just, timer and go. And and that's why we have to say you can only stake this many tokens, because if one person just staked their whole bag, that would
then only exactly. Yeah. Then it'd be like 5 people getting in, and just a bad time, I guess.
So yeah, but that's like 69 winners a week. If everybody put the max amount, I imagine that they won't. So I mean, maybe like 100 winners a week, and so 1,000, APR. I think they, basically. I'd have to look again, but they don't quite double up their bag, but they make a pretty good profit off of it. And then there's no staking fees for that. So
perfect.
Real straightforward and fun. And then otherwise, like after 8 weeks, then we'll, I think we're going to have so much traction with the token and with so many more bettors and everything, because, it's going to take about that much time just to keep getting it out there to all the different marketing avenues and just keep growing the holders. Once you have just a ton of holders, then you're going to have a ton of people, lots of betting volume and just constant like activity in the chat, and so it just gives it a real long-term vibe. And the fact that I've been here and working on this for so long is just, proof that, this is just supposed to be like the one, I don't think devs should be making like a token every month or something. I respect the ones that, kind of make something and they grow it into something really big. And that's what Speakeasy is going to be.
That's perfect. I 100% agree with you on that. So yeah, very excited for this. I appreciate you taking your time for giving all of the concrete information regarding this. And if it's okay with you, we're gonna now open up the floor to some of the community's questions so they can get some information that they wish to seek as well. So yeah, we're gonna start it off with Jaden. Jaden, hello and welcome to the AMA, and the floor is of course all yours. Jaden is a little shy. Oh, no, he is not. Yes, hello, we can hear you. Welcome.
Okay, thank you very much, Rayland, for giving me the opportunity. So my question is, when I went to your website, immediately, it showed me if I was up to 18 and, before I'll be able to access the website, which I was up to, click the OK. So my question is considering it, because, I just want to know how you plan to, impute enough security to this platform so that children under 18 will not be, able to access or even play bet. Why don't you think of, doing it in a way we have to use our Gmail to confirm we are up to 18, or face video to, avoid, so that it could be confirmed and, yes, we're up to 18 before we'll be able to access the website or the your project?
Well, I mean, it's more of just you're supposed to be 18 to bet, but being decentralized and whatnot, we're not collecting any information on our bettors because they're not actually actualizing, gains and stuff like that, because it's in the Speakeasy token. So we're just not really underneath that kind of jurisdiction and stuff where as soon as you start asking for some information or a Gmail or this or that, I'm pretty sure if you're not 18, you can get a Gmail account and you could say you're 21. So it's going to just be very difficult without getting some sort of like government ID. And then that kind of would go against like a lot of the things that we're trying to do here. So yeah, that's a good question. I just think more it was like a courtesy to the community and stuff by saying, hey, you shouldn't be gambling if you're 18 and whatnot.
Yeah, that was a very, great answer from you, because, most people are not even up to 18 and, they say they confirm on the website, yes, they are up to, 21 so that they'll be, earn money from, or gamble. So another question is, will you, do it in a way whereby when we bet 100% of our funds and we lose, like you send 50% back to us so that, we won't lose interest in the game, in the betting? Whereby when we lose, when we invest 100%, like bet in the game, and we lose, will you do it in a way that you return, half of the payments back to us so that we won't, lose interest in the game, in the betting, so that next time we can come over to, to your platform and bet? I don't know if you plan to do it like that.
Well, if you lose money, you're losing money to another person. So I don't think that other person would be okay with that. Pretty much whatever you bet, you're willing to lose, because it will be, like if I bet $100 against you that my football team's going to win, and you're betting $100 that your team's going to win, whatever team wins, that the person's going to get all $200. So, unless the person that won wanted to give you back some money so you'll play with them again, that would be, I think, a different case. But no, we, since it's decentralized and, the contract's already deployed and it does all the transactions and withdrawing and depositing the money and stuff. No, there's no refunds if you lose.
Right. I got your answer. It's not like just a refund, like just, some percentage. But since you said they will not be giving us any, so that is a very great one. So I'll just, ask my last
question. If I was winning the money and it was just the token who was taking your money, that would be fine. If that somehow was sustainable where we weren't constantly losing money, because I imagine when you win, you would want your full payout, but when you lose, you would want money back. So we would have to take like a lot of fees and things to do that. But since it's completely peer to peer, It's not really us that are taking your money.
Okay,
the token won't be profiting off of it.
All right. So, okay, my last question is going to be, concerning the launch. So, what if, on the day of launch, something came out not to be good? Like, I don't pray for that though, because, because of the bad market, most investors will not like to turn up well. So, I just wanted to know what backup plan do you have that on that day? You be changing the day of launch, or do you have a plan towards that?
Well, we have a 5 BNB soft cap, so I think that turns into, if we only raise 5 BNB, I mean, I know team members are going to put more than that in, but if we raise 5 BNB, we would start at a $5,000 market cap. And that means that people, when they buy launch, there's going to be a huge pump. So I wouldn't miss the opportunity, especially if we have a really low raise in the presale. I mean, you're getting, a considerable amount of tokens for very little BNB. I mean, because let's say, what is it? 38% of the supply is on the pre-sale. And so if we only raised 5 BNB, each BNB is worth like 8% of the supply. So, I mean, it would be pretty insane if that happened, but I guarantee we'll launch. And it doesn't matter to me at what market cap we launch, because no matter what, we're betting on football on Sunday. And I'm betting, and everyone wants to bet, and the hype will drive itself. And then, like I said, well, if we have to just, be betting amongst, a smaller group of people, if we've only got like a couple hundred holders and people just betting, and we survived the bear market, people will still be betting and the token won't die. And when we hit the bull run, everything will be amazing. I mean, but I think having utility, and with the World Cup hype right now, and World Cup meet and FIFA tokens, and everything soccer related, we'll tailor more marketing towards World Cup. It's the meta right now, and all these tokens are pumping, and they don't have utility, but we do. So we are the true World Cup token.
Oh yeah, that's good. So what about I just wanted to say something. Sorry, I know this was my last question, but I just wanted to about other sports activities that we could bet. The basketball, the dog race, and we could also bet. Are you not planning on having something to do with that too?
With basketball and dog races?
Like other sport activities that will be able to bet in your platform. Do you plan?
Well, we're going to do. I know. Rainlands was talking about esports. Like, we're definitely, I used to be a big Counter-Strike player and followed the competitive scene with Counter-Strike. So we're definitely still going to be having lots of esports betting too, So esports will be a definite thing that people will be able to bet on. And, for example, we can't do things like dog racing and NASCAR because they don't have Team A and Team B. However, I do have some prototype more of like plans and designs, and like wireframes of how it would work to do something with multiple, more than two options, and that it would work with the peer-to-peer aspect. It's just a little bit more complicated, and that would be something that would be coming out in the future, because we're going to continue development, after we launch and everything. We're going to just keep building onto the DApp and, making it just look like $1 million. Right now, it's pretty rough as far as it's more focused on just hey, you can bet, you can see what you're betting on. It does all the math and all the stuff and the withdrawals, and everything's safe. You can connect with Trust Wallet. You can connect with MetaMask. I mean, gosh, because there's so many dApps these days that, Trust Wallet doesn't work because everyone just makes things work for MetaMask. And I don't know. It's not important. Everything works, and there's just a lot more polish. But we'll technically be able to bet on everything that has two teams or two events, like win or loss, or not win or loss, but two events of like a presidential election. Like, is this guy going to win versus this guy? But if there's three people in the race, we can't do three people yet.
Okay, all right, Barrett. Thank you for answering my question, and also Raylan, sorry that I took long time on the VC. Just wanted to clarify my questions from Barrett, and I'll just head over to your Telegram because that is very important. Then I ask more questions concerning your project. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be back over in our. We'll launch up a little bit of. I'm going to get back into our Telegram after this, and we'll see if you have more questions. So don't worry.
All right, Jaden, thank you very much. And again, it's no problem at all.
Yeah, no problem.
And we are moving on to Saad Hitman. Hello. Welcome to the AMA, and the floor is, of course, all yours.
Thanks, Big Boss. How are you doing, first and foremost?
I am doing fantastic. How about yourself?
I'm all right. It's been always a pleasure listening to your voice. What is your commentary on this?
Thank you very much. I am happy that today we have Barrett that is also as hyped as me usually, so we kind of complement each other, you could say. So a great time.
Yep, it's really an amazing combo, and Barrett is really awesome. They say, nice guy on VC. Welcome, Barrett.
Oh, welcome.
All right, quickly over to my questions. First and foremost, the community, I started following your community since yesterday when I saw this announcement, and it has been locked up since then. So have you been having any other community aside Telegram? And if no, why is it still locked till now?
Do we have any other communities besides Telegram, and if not, why? Or what was the last part of it?
Why is your Telegram group still locked up?
The Telegram is locked up because after this AMA, I'm going to go open it back up because we just wanted to keep everyone just like kind of suspense waiting for our marketing to kick off. And this is our first official piece of marketing for the event. And so after this, I'll be able to go unlock it just because I wanted to just get everything out there through the AMA. And we have a couple more AMAs scheduled, like one later today, one tomorrow. And then all of our major calls from some of the bigger guys are coming through tomorrow before the pre-sale. And so ultimately it was just kind of a hype strategy. And so as soon as I get off of this, I'll be able to go unlock it and be able to just give it full attention.
I always know there's something awesome about this smart brain behind the screen here. All right. Okay, so another thing I really want to ask about is your spin, all right, the jackpot stuff. So if I really understand that concept well, I buy a certain amount of token starting from 0.01 and I get entered into the wheel by getting 1 credit. All right, it's not really like I'm staking this credit or betting it's not really like I'm staking my fund or betting my fund. I'm only being entered into the wheel for holding this particular Speakeasy token. So, and I'm also winning Speakeasy token. When it spins and maybe I win, I'll be a drop Speakeasy token, which is awesome. Now, scrolling through your white paper and your website, I didn't see any allocation for treasury on your tokenomics. And sustaining this awesome concept in your system for a very long time will demand a lot of funds because you're not even charging for withdrawal taxes to kind of help you renew the reward pool. So I'm kind of curious what you've put in place to make sure that this pool remains sustainable all through the lifespan of this project, since this is built around spinning and betting.
So all of the Speakeasy that goes into the jackpots comes from the taxes. So the 3% buy tax, all of that goes into the jackpots. And then, a portion of the sell tax all goes into the jackpots. So the jackpots are sustainable just based off of the volume of the token. And the BNB that it costs to run the spins was just going to come out of the marketing funds. I mean, so the gas costs are not that great because the wheel and the system's been very well optimized. I mean, so we've gotten the gas down quite a bit. And so we're only spinning it once a day and then once a week. So that's 8 times. So that would be 8 spins and then 8 payouts and 8 new games. So it doesn't come out to that expensive to keep running it. But since, these types of tokens are based upon the taxes, and that's what keeps it all funded. And then that'll keep the marketing and everything going. But that is a really good question. But yeah, since the pot, it's being displayed in BNB value, but the pot total is just in the Speakeasy that's collected from the taxes. And so.
Impressive. So if your the fund that coming from I think from to your marketing and your taxes is going to your spin, how is the team getting paid? That's number one. Secondly, how are you actually funding your 100% APY Flash stake protocol?
That's there's a 10% set apart from the supply just for Flash staking, and it will run out in 8 weeks. So it'll only run for 8 sessions, and then that 10% will be gone. So that's a good question, but that was never meant to be sustainable. It's more just like a promotion for 8 weeks. So Flash staking will be gone. Yeah?
So after that, we're not going to be seeing staking in your platform, or you'll be implementing
No.
it?
Yeah, correct. No. Staking will be gone after 8 weeks. So it's more of just like, part of the hype of getting things going. But during that 8 weeks, we're developing the betting community and we're getting more and more holders. And so this will be a betting token. And then the jackpots will just always be there because people will be buying tokens to bet. And they just like that extra little bit of degen fun to have a jackpot, And if it ever turns into, just a pure betting token and people don't care about the jackpots and would rather see that portion of the tax go away, that would be, completely like negotiable and, part of, but I think there's some sort of magic and stuff to it, because when you buy that 3%, we're not taking that from you. It goes into a pool for everybody to win. And where the team makes money, there's a 2% development fee on the sell tax, and that's it. Because, for example, I never didn't assign myself or anyone tokens. So I'll probably be buying into the pre-sale depending on, how if it really is like a low raise or whatever, I'll probably FOMO in a lot. But I'll keep it cool and decide, how much I would put in. But it's going to be pretty exciting as far as that part goes. But I always find it really hard to sell tokens, on my own project. So it just doesn't it doesn't feel good to like scale. So that was the whole point of having the 2% development fee, because then it just keeps everything, cool. And it's like you're not hurting the project and you're incentivized to build volume.
Okay, that's nice. When you said everything is going into the spin pool, I really thought you're not really spending anything for yourself. But that's now. Okay, now I really have this bit suggestion or a question to ask. If you really considered introducing a kind of advert on your betting platform, because I think that's the platform that people will be using most, and that's also the platform that is going to be generating a lot of excitement and a lot of attention. So, implementing a little bit of controlled adverts on it will actually help you raise some kind of extra fund for, some kind of miscellaneous expenses that you might not be thinking of now that might actually pop up along the line. Have you really considered that? Is this implementable?
It's definitely implementable. I haven't really thought about that, but it's a great idea. Definitely we could, once we're getting, the numbers up and whatnot, there's plenty of room on there to, maybe on the sides or something to put some advertisements for other products and tokens. And definitely, if we did that, I would definitely, we would add that into, for example, we could use that to buy and burn the token or something like that. So that's a really good idea. I think it's putting the cart before the horse a little bit, as far as like if I went and said, hey, this is a big part of the strategy, because then, we don't have, we're not launched yet. So we don't get to see that amount, the users and stuff in that yet. But what we will be able to actualize that idea, which is great and phenomenal, as soon as we're pulling all this traction and whatnot. I think I'm definitely going to take your idea on that. And, at least, in the beginning, give people some, some really good deals on some space on there, but I need to get some traffic statistics first. But wonderful idea. Thank you.
You're welcome, man. Lastly, I've been thinking of when you said this will be spinned and the person that win will be airdropped the token. Sometimes people will tend to feud when they feel like, okay, fine, I've been buying every day or every week and I've not really won anything maybe for the past 1 month. and then start feuding. So to make it more fair, is it possible for when this what's it called? I think Steambot is the name, right? Or Spinnybot. So when it will popping up the address that wins, is it possible for it to actually maybe pop up a short video of how it actually spinned these the entries for the day, so they will really see it is fair and square for everybody. So if you don't lose, if you don't win, you don't blame the dev or the team or the project. You just blame the win.
Well, for example, you know, I don't know, if I went to like the jackpot contract here and I search for 0x, the only place that it has a wallet address in it, as you can see, I'm doing, you know, this is the actual contract. And the only place that has a wallet address here is the Pancake Swap router. And so that tells you that there's just no way that it doesn't know anyone else's wallet address. So it's completely fair as far as that goes. It has no way of knowing, you know, any other wallet. And, you know, so all I can do is say I promise it is fair, because, like, you know, for example, when you have like the two people, like, you know, if only two people are playing in the spin game and you each bought the same amount of you know, spin token or Speakeasy tokens in the wheel, I mean, it's literally a 50% chance. And so, you know, you could run that over and over and you would see that, you know, it's like flipping a coin. It will be equal, because it, you know, basically it says, you know, it uses a random number generator, right? And then depending on how big your slice is of the wheel, it's going to pick a random number, and it's going to correlate to one of these people. Like, you know, if this is like a list of entries, and then it's visually just going to show it on the wheel. So the wheel's more for fun. It's already decided who won in the contract, but, you know, you'll see that it will spin automatically and it'll do the payout automatically. There's just no time for us to do any intervention in there, you know. And if I show you like the functions for it, I mean, I know this is being recorded, so this is just good, just to put out here anyway. It's like, I mean, I could add tokens, I can clean the game, I can enable betting, these are functions that can actually only be called by the contract anyway, but place bet, remove bet, send tokens, set the percentages. I mean, there's nothing in here that I can say, you know, give this wallet extra chance of winning or anything like that. So, I mean, but for obvious reasons, we're not verifying the contract, so then everybody can go copy it and steal it, you know, because there's just a lot that went into it. But yeah, there's basically the only thing I can do, and would be like emergency withdraw, like in case there was a lot of Speakeasy tokens stuck in there or whatever, I'd be able to take those out. But otherwise, I can't manipulate the game in any other way. Like I said, like changing the time and like the price of the credit score and stuff like that. So really just nothing funny at all on it. And good question, but sorry for the long answer. But.
Thank you very much. I don't know if somebody has told you, you're doing so well. So.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
Thanks, Melan.
Mm-hmm. All right, Seth Hiedman, thank you very much. And we are moving on to the last question of the AMA. Zainab, hello and welcome to the AMA. The floor is, of course, all yours, and make it a good one because it is the last question. So welcome.
Hey, oh, you.
Hello, yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Bad dog. My dog was chewing on my freaking slippers.
So adorable.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Welcome.
Okay, so my question is, people are always worried about the transaction speed because they worry about their transaction going to fail. How fast and secure is your platform? And if the number of users spikes, your transaction got congested?
I mean, I just turned it up because you were speaking fairly quietly. So you're concerned about Can you just repeat the last part about the last thing you said?
I think it was how fast and secure your platform is, and if you have anything to add, you can repeat the question, of course.
Well, I would say it's very fast and very secure. I mean, it's as fast as BSC will allow it to be. When people buy, it's all directly goes into the smart contracts, and so there's a lot of security features built into the contract as far as saying the only wallet or the only thing that can interact with it would be the Speakeasy token contract. It's the only one that can interact with the jackpot. So stop, dog. Hold on. I got puppy problems. So nothing can actually, as far as security reasons, like nobody can hack the contract, and nobody can hack into and the bets or change any things on it. We even generate a random number off of the server that seeds the contract. So there's even an extra layer of security there. Some people are, but I mean, the way these jackpots work, it would be pretty much impossible. Even if you knew what the random number was going to be, it'd pretty much be impossible to get your token, your buy to go into that, because as soon as someone buys, it would change that number and stuff again. So I would just say security is not going to be an issue for any of this, since it's all decentralized. If this jackpot game was happening on a an actual website and not this is just a display of what's going on in the smart contract, that makes it a lot different. Dude. Hold on one sec. Yeah. Sorry about that. So I'm not sure if I answered your question.
Zainab, hello. Did Barrett answer your question? Okay, you're here.
Yeah. Thanks for answering my question.
Okay, perfect. So yeah. All right, I just wanted to say, Barrett, thank you very much for attending the AMA. Hello. It has been an absolute pleasure hosting you. Hopefully you can hear me. And yeah, I just wanted to say best of...
Okay, I've lost audio, I guess.
Hello. Barrett, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Okay. Stop it.
I will assume that you can hear me now.
I figured it out. Okay, say something now.
Yes, hello, welcome.
Okay, no, I haven't figured it out.
You didn't? Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah, did you manage to fix it?
Okay, I can hear you now.
You can hear me? Okay, perfect. Yeah, I just wanted to say, Barrett, thank you very much for attending the AMA. Yeah. It has been an absolute pleasure hosting you, and your dog is also adorable, so thank you very much. It has been an amazing AMA. I just wanted to say the best of luck for the fair launch. I'm sure you guys are going to do great. And, of course, best of luck for the launch as well. It's going to be a great Sunday. So with that being said, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day.
All right, guys, and I'm going to go open up our chat, and I'll jump in voice chat if anyone has any extra questions. So, if you have your hand up, just come meet me over at Speakeasy Token. All right.
Okay, perfect. Barrett, have a good one, and we will talk soon.
Thank you. All right.
No problem.
Bye.
Bye.